Hey, it's so good to be back. Welcome to Life, Mood, and Reality podcast. And today it is my privilege to talk about something very interesting today. So today we're talking about sneaky ways. Okay. All right. The last time I talked about tiny things. Okay. Today I'm talking about sneaky ways. Okay. So I'm talking about sneaky ways to achieve more in a day than most do in a week. Now, most of you are asking, Joe, how are you so effective with your work that you get things so done? Okay, you get things so done. How are you so focused? How do you do this? How do you invent this magic? So I get to share with you sneaky ways to achieve more in a day than most do in a week. And all it takes really is a few minor changes. When you have a productive day, it's hard to believe that your past self would never have achieved that much in an entire week. Maybe you work a full-time job. You work out. You eat healthy. You invest. You read. You sleep enough. You play an instrument. Spend time with loved ones. And constantly explore new things. But you don't have a timetable. Nor insane willpower. Rather, you have honed system, consistent habit, and optimized frameworks. And these are what takes a small achievement and revolutionized it into productivity. So here it is. I'm just going to share some of them with you that would help you a lot. The first one I want to talk about is something probably most people would find it hard to believe when it comes to me. Sleep well. Sleep well. Yeah. With the rise of the toxic hustle culture, being sleep deprived has appealingly become something to brag about. Oh, I have 1 hour of sleep. I have 0 hours sleep. I don't sleep at all. I'm always awake. Or I have little sleep. I'm not a robot. Okay, I'm not a robot. Okay. Many people take sleep for granted. Okay. Now, there's a research paper that talks about the importance of sleep. It explains the effect of sleep deprivation, debilitating, affecting cognitive, hypertension, memory loss, disrupted. It even causes cardiac risk and obesity, to name a few. Okay, sleep can make or break the next day. It's as simple as that. Write it down. Sleep can make or break the next day. Why 8 hours of deep sleep makes most feel like an inexhaustible machine. 6 grumpy hours leaves you barely functional. Without good sleep, you just cannot be productive. You just cannot be productive. So sleep enough and well. Okay? And this is a podcast where I get to show you, I get to teach you. So here's how to do it. These are some tips that probably will help you. Choose a sleep time based on your preference and convenience. For students, I always tell them 10 p.m. is your bedtime. Let it be that it's so late, 11 p.m. is your bedtime. You came back late, you had a lot of work, 11 p.m. is your bedtime. 11 p.m. to 5, then you wake up. So you have like 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours. 6.5. Because the sleep doesn't just come in, right? 10:30, you're in bed. Because you need that time for rest. So choose a sleep time based on your preference. It could be for people who are working, it could be as late as maybe 11 p.m. Okay? Or as early as 7 p.m. The time doesn't matter as much as the duration does. The key is to consistently stick to the same timing. Get rid of all electronic screens at least an hour before bed. At least an hour before bed. The blue light emitted by electronic screen disrupts sleep by reducing the melatonin production. Kind of like the sleep hormones. So it is important that you get rid of it. Electronic screens. The next one, find a calming activity to do. Find a calming activity to do just before bed. Anything that puts you in a serene state of mind will work. I've often said, one of the things that helped me is book. You can get a physical book. Okay? A physical book. It doesn't have to be digital because we're talking about screen time, right? So a physical book and you read it. Right? In bed, and then you fall asleep. So a common activity to do just before bed. Or maybe a little bit of chess. Something to get you to bed. Use your bedroom for only sleep. Our brain associates activity with places. I want to talk about this. So important. Our brain associates activity with places. When your bedroom is your study room, there's a problem. Okay, let me explain when your bed is your study room, there's a problem. You should have a study room in your bedroom, not your bed. Work with me on this. When your bed is your study room, then we have a problem. It should be your bedroom, not your bed. So it simply means that our brain associates activities with places. And you want your bed associated with only sleep. So whenever you go to bed, it's to sleep. It's not a time to start chatting. It's not the time to start saying hello to friends. It's not the time to start saying, oh, let me see what's going on in the world. The world will still be the same way it is when you wake up. Okay? It will still be the same way it is when you wake up. Okay? So if you eat, walk, chill, and live in your bed, there won't be any helpful association. You're not helping your brain. You're not helping your brain. You're not helping your brain. So consider, that's the next one I want to talk about. Consider supplementing with kind of a melatonin, right? This is sort of a last resort, but it works for so many, right? There are supplements that might help you to fall asleep, but you really want to consult your doctor or a sleep specialist before trying those, right? So this is for workers, that people working who are finding it difficult to sleep. You might really want to get some supplements that would help you to sleep. But for students, learners, people who are on their early stages, you probably really don't need this, because when you differentiate your places of work, study, and rest, it helps the brain to process all this very well for you. The next one is ruthlessly, and I say this, ruthlessly prioritize and create 2 tax buckets. Yeah. Okay. Ruthlessly prioritize and create 2 tax buckets. And I will explain what this means. 24 hours isn't enough. Can we all agree on that? It's not enough. 24 hours is not enough to do everything we want to do. I'm not saying you can't get everything done in 24 hours, but it's not enough. And that's exactly what makes ruthless prioritization not only powerful, but necessary. On a normal day, just before going to sleep, decide 3 tasks to accomplish at any cost the next day. For student, you have your timetable. Decide on the things you're going to study for the next day at any cost to get anything done. So before you go the extra mile day, mentally commit to another 3 tasks. These are called, watch this, primary and secondary buckets. The former 3 are to be achieved at any cost. Why the later 3? Only if the primary ones are done. So I'm going to do this, and after this, and then I can do this. Okay? So 3 is a sweet number. With 7 or 20 items to do, you'll be over-committing and scattering your focus. With 2 tasks or lesser, you'll be cutting yourself short. So 3 is a sweet number. Okay? 3, 4 is a sweet number. Okay? So this 2 bucket system also works better than just having a 6 tasks to-do list. Okay? Because of the additional layer of prioritization and the escape clause on it. So you have to worry about the secondary bucket only when you're done with the first one. Okay? So before you go to bed, choose your 6 tasks. So get them into 2 buckets. Okay, these are the 6 tasks I want to accomplish. Which one is the most priority that I want to do for the next day? That is for the other day, right? So for example, on Monday, I have 6 tasks I want to accomplish. And then I look at, okay, which is the first 3 that is so important that I can accomplish by Wednesday. So by Wednesday, which is the deadline, I'm done. Okay, so this becomes the primary bucket. This becomes the primary bucket, and this also becomes what the next 3 becomes the secondary bucket. Okay, so I do this the primary bucket, and I do it at any cost, and then the other one I can, once the primary bucket is complete, then I focus on the secondary bucket. The next one is chisel your tasks down to the finest level of detail. Chisel your tasks down to the finest level of detail. Vague tasks are sneaky fellows. Vague tasks are sneaky fellows, as they can mean nothing and everything at the same time. You're just doing this. That's not priority. You can interpret them in a zillion ways. A 10 minutes break walking session is as much of a workout as a 2 hours strength training session is. And writing could be a 2 minute twist or a 2 long form batch writing session. Stay away from all and any generality. Okay? Chasing down the tags in your buckets until they are specific enough to make it impossible to interpret them in more than one way. Okay? Now, a simple technique to satisfy this is what I call your why, what, where, when, who, how. We call it the 5W1H. 5W1H. The 5W is why, what, where, when, who. The 1H, how. Okay, so I'm going to take it again. So we have the why, we have the what, we have the where, we have the when, we have the who, and we have the how. The output will be specific tasks, such as write an 800 to 1,000 word productive article. First thing after waking up, you complete a low rep and a large focus pull out before lunch. The point is to make sure your tasks are drilled very detailed so you don't miss out on anything. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose? Where is this going? When is the deadline? And who? Okay? And how do I go about it? So all these things are very, very important. Cultivate task-specific ritual. That's the next one. Cultivate task-specific ritual. It takes using ritual to understand how powerful they can be. A ritual, in simple terms, is a unique series of action that precede, signify, and prepares you for a certain task. The unique part is crucial. You cannot use the same ritual for two different tasks. No, you cannot. So this is because ritual works by forming mental association. Okay? And this is a lock and key mechanism. The same key would work for different locks. So forge different keys. Every task has a different ritual. Okay? So you can make them as quickly as you fancy. For example, maybe setting personal records, doing strength training, or what exercises you're being given. Okay, so it's very important. The benefit of ritual won't kick in immediately, right? As a form of classical conditioning, your brain needs time and repetition to fully associate the task with this ritual. So form and stick to rituals. It will help you. Okay, it would really help you. Render it, that's the next one I want to talk about. Render it impossible to be distracted. Render it impossible to be distracted. Focus is the central stone of productivity. Focus is the central stone of productivity. Nothing kills focus as much as distraction do. Write it down. Nothing kills focus as much as distraction do. If you see a student or any student who is not doing well, it's not because they're not intelligent. The student is distracted. When we say a child is not focused or an employee is not focused, it simply means the employee is distracted. What is distracting you? What is making you lose focus? Let me plane it down a bit. It could be an Instagram notification flashing on your phone, or it could be your parent loudly bellowing at your siblings. It's hard to consciously avoid giving into distraction, because whether we like, distractions are all around us. So here I'm about to tell you. So choose the easiest way to eliminate all sources of distraction beforehand. And there are 4 ways to do just that and create a focus-rich environment. So, what was it? So let me tell you what I do. The first one, I turn off all notifications unless the task at hand relies on them. Turn off all notifications. If I'm being focused doing something, turn off all notifications. I'm pretty sure that thing will wait. I'm pretty sure it will wait. Whether it's your PC, your personal computer, your phone, your social media, your email, everything. Once it's time to be focused, turn them off. Find a calm and isolated environment. And let your friends and co-workers or family know that you don't want to be disturbed unless there's an actual emergency. Put on a pair of headphones and play the same song on repeat. I'm always careful with songs because finding the right kind of songs to keep you focused is important. You don't want to listen to songs that would distract your focus. We're talking about you being focused, and the songs you're playing is distracting you. So you want to ensure that the lyrics, let me tell you the kind of songs you need to listen to. The lyrics are not something that would distract your focus. So you have to be careful. You have to watch out for the lyrics. I always recommend playing instrumentals. Cool jazz instrumentals. Okay? Like the ones I do on my podcast. Cool jazz instrumentals. Okay? Anything that keeps you in the right mood to focus. So don't put out songs or don't listen to songs that takes your focus away. That you get lost in them in such a way that you sing the lyrics and you forget you're doing the work. 3 hours you're still on that job. So it's important that you always use songs that would not distract you. So instrumentals are a very good way. Cool classic instrumentals. We have the jazz music, the piano music. Sometimes I listen to rain music. Rain, like the rain is just so rain sounds. Though that helps me to sleep. Okay, but just cool. Right? If you're Christian, abide meditation. Abide is an app called Abide, and the whole idea of Abide is it's like a daily meditation app that just talks about a few things and just puts you in the right mood. That's one way. So put a pair of headphones and play the same song on repeat. While music can help drown out other noises, the song themselves can become distraction. So loop the same songs, as this will take your focus off the music. So you don't want to switch songs because they can distract you. You want to put the same thing. That's why most time I'm careful. I go with there are some long instrumentals, like 1 hour instrumentals, 30 minutes instrumentals. So they are always on repeat. So it keeps my focus on the same thing, right? So use blocking software as an app. Okay? For general use cases, okay, so there are some block apps. The best part is you don't have to use blocking software forever. After a while, you become trained enough to work without them. Okay, so during the training processes, you can do all this. The next one is alternate short burst of deep work with pocket of leisure, right? When laser sharp focus and a peak state of mind, you will not be able to tap into flows and perform deep work, which studies have reported to be up to 5 times as productive as normal work. But given the nature of deep work, mind pushed to its cognitive limit and your focus stretching into the tiniest strain. So long enough stretches can burn you out and prove counterproductive, but this is where leisure comes in. So if sleep is the first thing, toxic hate productivities hates. Okay, so leisure is the second one. Okay, both are instrumental to productivity. So leisure replenishes everything deep work consumes. So focus, mood, motivation, and mental energy. And when you marry deep work with leisure, the child you beget is an epitome of productivity. So for every hour of deep work, give yourself 10 minutes of leisure time. With this, it is best of both worlds. Neither does work feels like work. So nor does leisure feels like a waste of time. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so implement this correctly, and you will definitely be able to achieve more in a day than you do in a week. Okay. Also, think of this as just a starting point. Okay, as you discover tweaks, and optimization involve and strengthen this. People, after all, as different as they come, and just like there isn't one size fit all attire, there is no universal plug and play productive guide. So whichever one that works for you in all these things that I've talked about, please stick to it. And trust me, it would work for you. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, youtube.com/@AjiroTech. That's AJIROTECH. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.